Welcome back, America. This morning I went to my doctor, did routine stuff. They sent a routine medicine prescription. I went to the pharmacy. Pharmacy said, you know what? Maybe Saturday. Like, you got to be kidding. This medicine I used to get all the time. It's a real problem in this world. Our next guest has been innovating to fix what breaks our health system so often. He's a world-renowned doctor, chief scientific officer at the wellness company, and our good friend, Dr. Peter McCullough. Doctor, good to have you back on.
Thank you.
All right, I want to get to those emergency medical kits because I was thinking about them about 11 o'clock today when I was in the pharmacy line. But first, new president, President Trump, he's the president-elect. What are the priorities for fixing health in this country for him?
First and foremost, the COVID-19 vaccine should be pulled from the market. They have not had the safety track record America wanted to see, and sadly, so many have suffered injuries, disabilities, and even death. Very few people are taking these at all. The pandemic is essentially wound down. The viral infection is like the common cold now. So they're not clinically indicated. They're not medically necessary. They should be removed from the market. And I think one of the next big steps that would really quickly clear up this issue regarding vaccines in general and the vaccine safety is to repeal the 1986 Vaccine Injury Compensation Act and have the companies start standing behind their products. Americans deserve safe vaccines, and when they are applied, the company should stand behind their products and they should have this liability shield removed.
Yeah, very important.
Yeah, Dr. McCullough, when RFK burst onto the scene talking about the health of America and chronic disease, he talks about yellow 5 and red 40 and triclosan and seed oils and all of these things. And then he became a part of President Trump's campaign, and that brought in, I think, a lot of suburban female voters who are actually concerned about these things that we have possibly been poisoning our bodies with for decades. How big of an impact or role do you think that someone like RFK Jr. is going to have in President Trump's administration?
I think he conceivably could have a very big impact if he's positioned as, in a cabinet position as the Secretary of Health and Human Services, and that would require confirmation. And we know the assistant secretary beneath the HHS secretary, currently Becerra, who's an attorney, Kennedy is an attorney, but the assistant is actually the physician, the doctor who guides a lot of public health decisions, certainly Medicare, Medicaid, and then the oversight over the CDC, NIH, and FDA. But healthcare is a big part of the government services sector. I think there's a great opportunity for a new cast, a new group of leaders to come in and really carefully work through these issues. Another big one is, I think, banning gain-of-function research in laboratories on U.S. soil. Yep. There was a federal ban on funding research, but not stopping the research itself. And this has gone unregulated now. And in almost every major university, dangerous pathogens, viruses, bacteria, and fungi are being created. And this is like having nuclear weapons being developed without any regulation in university labs. Sooner or later, there's going to be a leak or a problem. Banning gain-of-function research and then doing a sweep and make sure Americans are safe, I think, is a top priority.
Yeah, if it happened in Wuhan, it could happen at the University of Michigan. I asked President Trump this in my interview 10 days ago, and he said it is on his radar, something he wants to very seriously consider, a ban or significant constriction to just military labs. So an interesting thing that he's thinking the same way you are, sir. I want to turn to something that happened during COVID because it's a reminder of what's likely to happen. RFK, President Trump are going to take on some golden calves in the medical industry. There's going to be a blowback. And one of the things that Big Pharma is good at is demagoguery. If you question anything about vaccines, you're anti-vaccine or you're anti-health or you're risking public health. What advice would you give President Trump, RFK, as someone who successfully fought against that demagoguery? What should they be prepared for? How can they fight it so they can make the right decisions in America?
Robert F. Kennedy said it recently. We're not trying to take away vaccines from anyone, but we are demanding safe products. We're demanding data transparency, full informed consent, and another thing, very important, no mandates. No one can be mandated to take a vaccine or any medicinal product for any reason. That means a federal ban on all the school mandates and mandates for sports and other activities.
Dr. McCullough, we have a very fresh news story to ask you about, or at least I do anyway. About 30 minutes, CBS News reported 43 monkeys that escaped from a lab that was used for vaccine research in South Carolina.
Oh, no.
Anything to worry about?
There you go. I mean, that's the example. The leaks can be test tubes. It can be animals that get out. It can be actually commingling with wild animals. We have a peer-reviewed paper that the current strain of bird flu, clade 23444B, that one actually leaked out of a government lab in Athens, Georgia. This is now a fully peer-reviewed paper. So yes, there's great concern that we don't have a handle on that. So I'm agree with John and Trump. I think the universities now, this needs to be taken off their plate, and this needs to be done in very controlled circumstances with tons of oversight and security.
Yeah, so important. You've been such a great siren in warning us against these dangers. One of the other things you've done is forced innovation in a profession that often resists it because everyone has godlike ideas there. What you've done with the emergency medical kits are just stunning. And today I was thinking about them as I went to the pharmacy just I had a little ear infection. I got to get an antibiotic like 4 days or 3 days before you can get it. Tell us a little bit about these emergency medical kits, why they're essential to modern healthcare.
The emergency medical kits, again, are exactly for that. They're emergencies. They're individually prescribed per person. And they have a bundle of pre-prescribed medications that are needed in a pinch. It sounds like, John, if you're on a chronic medicine, you actually may want a wellness company membership. The middle and the higher tier membership actually have free prescription drugs as a benefit there.
Wow. You
pay a small monthly fee, and then it comes from the pharmacy, the wellness company pharmacy, and by the mail. I've done this myself, and I tell you, this has eliminated running to the pharmacy and having them not have the drug in stock that you need. Consider wellness company memberships for your chronic medications.
All right, I'm in on that, especially after today. I'm definitely in on that. I'm going to go check that out tonight. For folks who want to go check them out, I think there are 4 different kits. Just remind us the 4 different emergency kits that you got.
Yeah, well, the broad aqua blue kit is for home use. That covers all the things that happen in the home. The forest green is for traveling, particularly on cruise boats. The black is contagion. That's specifically for COVID, flu, and bird flu. And then the red is for outdoors. This is these flood emergencies we've seen with the hurricanes, lacerations, things that happen camping. Then the pediatric kit, mothers now and fathers can handle pediatric bronchitis, sinusitis, sore throat, even handle serious allergies like bee sting and peanut allergies with an EpiPen. That's in the pediatric emergency kit. Remember, you're not alone. There's always a guidebook and physicians available on telemedicine to help guide users through emergencies.
And I'll tell you, my family, you feel like our family physician. Everyone in my family appreciates what you do. Doctor, you are such a treasure to this country. And what you've done at the Wellness Company is such a great contribution to innovating. Great to have you on the show today. Great to have this partnership. Folks, if you want to take advantage of all the brilliance that Dr. McCullough has put together at the Wellness Company, all you got to go to is twc.health/just news, twc.health/just news to get your wellness kit, and you can save 10% if you use the promo code just news. You don't get 10% off anything in America these days. Go take advantage of that discount and these incredible, innovative medical kits. All right, we're going to be right back, and we'll wrap things up for today right after these messages.